Thermodynamic state. It is the condition of the system. The condition of the system indicates the thermodynamic state. For example, there is hot fluid or hot gas, cool fluid or cool gas in a system, or high pressure gas or low pressure gas. These all indicate the condition of the system. Therefore, the condition of the system is called as thermodynamic state. For instance, in this figure, PV diagram, x1, x2, x3, x4 are changes of states. For example, at x1, the system is at high pressure and at low volume. At x3, the system is at medium pressure and medium volume. At x4, the system is at low pressure and higher volume. So these are all indicating the states of a system. Therefore, the conditions are called as states. Now coming to thermodynamic process. A process is responsible for change of states. When a system undergoes a change of states means the process is responsible. For example, here the process AB may be expansion process. If you put the arrow like this, here expansion process means pressure is decreasing and volume is increasing. So AB indicates expansion process in which there are changes of states from x1 to x2, x3, x4. Suppose higher pressure, lower volume, then lower pressure, somewhat higher volume, further lower pressure, further higher volume. So here the process AB is responsible for all these change of states. So such phenomenon which is responsible for change of states is called as process. Example, heating process, cooling process, adiabatic process, polytropic process, etc. Path. It is the locus of change of states. Path is not responsible for change of states. For example, AB may be called as a path but not process, because path indicates this line joining or locus of a series of states. The difference between path and process is a process is responsible for change of states, whereas a path is not responsible for change of state. Now coming to thermodynamic cycle. In thermodynamic cycle here, it is 1A, 2B is a thermodynamic cycle. A thermodynamic cycle consists of number of processes, for example 1A2, 2B1, which are responsible for different changes of states, and finally the system restores its original properties. For example, the system is starting with a pressure of P1 and V1. After undergoing a change of states to the process A, and it changes its states to P2 and V2, then it comes back in the reverse process back to the state 1. That means the system is restoring its properties back to the initial states. That is called as thermodynamic cycle. We can say thermodynamic cycle consists of number of processes and restoring of initial properties. So this is about thermodynamic state, thermodynamic process, path, and thermodynamic cycle. Now we go to the intensive and extensive properties, or property definition of properties. Properties. So properties are called as observable characteristics of a system. Observable characteristics of a system. For example, in a system of gas and cylinder, we can say that during expansion, temperature is high. We have got more temperature and less pressure. So we can say that the system is at low pressure and high temperature. The system is at low pressure and high temperature. So we are observing that the system is at lesser pressure and higher temperature. Similarly, if the volume is more, we can say during expansion volume is more, the system is at higher volume. During compression process, the pressure will be more and volume will be less. So in this way we are observing some characteristics of a system. Those observable characteristics of a system are called as properties. And coming to the types of properties, we have extensive properties, which are also called as extrinsic or quantitative properties. And the second one is intensive properties or intrinsic properties, are also called as qualitative properties. Qualitative properties. Now, coming to the extensive properties, their extensive properties are depending upon the mass of a system. For example, if you take volume, you pour some m1 liters of m1 quantity of mass here, and again m2 quantity of water here. So for m1 quantity of mass, the volume is V1. For m2, the volume increases to V2. So here the volume of water is increasing with respect to the mass of water. Therefore, volume is an extensive properties which is depending upon the mass of the system. So here, as the quantity is increasing, as the volume is representing the property like volume, this is called as quantitative property, because volume is representing the quantity of the fluid. Therefore, it is also called as quantitative property or extensive property. Intensive property. If you take same hot water, which is at a temperature of say some 50 degrees centigrade, and if you pour it to a small glass vessel of mass m1, it will have a temperature of 50 degrees centigrade. If you pour it in a bigger volume of vessel, same of mass m2, it will have a volume of 50 degrees centigrade. Or if you pour it to another mass m3, still it will have a temperature of 50 degrees centigrade. That means here T is equal to T1 is equal to T2 is equal to T3. That is equal to 50 degrees centigrade. It does mean that the temperature of a system is not depending upon the mass. Irrespective of the masses, irrespective of the changes of the masses, the temperature is remaining constant. Therefore, temperature is intensive property because it is not depending upon the mass. Therefore, those properties which are not depending upon the mass of the system are called as intensive properties. They are also called as intrinsic properties. As this temperature indicates not the quantity of the system but the quality of the system, they are also called as qualitative properties. Remember that here extensive property is indicating quantity of the system, therefore it is called as quantitative property. On the other hand, intensive property is indicating the quality of the system but not the quantity of the system, therefore they are called as qualitative properties. Similarly, pressure also. If you supply from air compressor, if you supply air to a scooter tube or a bike tube, at any point of mass, you find the same pressure. Say P1 is equal to P2 is equal to P3. So here the pressure in the cycle tube or scooter tube indicates the quality of the air. It is at constant pressure or it is at high pressure or low pressure. Therefore, it also indicates the quality of the property. Therefore, it is called as qualitative property. Pressure does not indicate the quantity of the properties. So, in this way, extensive properties, we can say they simply depend upon the mass or quantity of the system. Intensive properties do not depend on mass or quantity of the system. They simply indicate the quality. And another thing is all the extensive properties per unit volume are called as intensive properties. For example, volume, total volume by unit mass. This is called as specific volume. For example, there is 30 meter cube of volume is there. For example, 5 kg mass, 5 kg consists of 30 meter cube of volume, then 1 kg consists of 30 meter cube by 5 kg, that is equal to 6 meter cube per kg. Here 30 meter cube indicates total volume, which is an extensive property, and 6 meter cube per kg is called as specific volume, which is called as intensive properties. So with this we can say that all the specific properties, all the specific extensive properties are called as intensive properties. We can get specific property by depending upon a property with unit mass, and another similarly specific enthalpy, specific internal energy, and specific entropy are also called as intensive, or also called as intensive properties. So this is about different types of properties. And so dear students and parents, again I will inform you that if you have even a supplementary subject with minimum knowledge either in polytechnic or engineering, you can contact us at 9908888 or 9849666890 to have either online tutorials or tuitions or offline tuitions at Puttaparthi. We can take care of you. Thank you.